Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to keep up to date with the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum to keep up to date with the community debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly though, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Quantum Eraser, The Plain Truth, Paul, Jose, Rebel, Flatten Earth, Dian, Chocolate Sane, and Arwin. Good to have you all.
Good afternoon.
Hello, 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 what ho?
Hello. What's up?
Good morning.
Arr.
Let's see if we can do a bit of housekeeping. Any signs of curvature?
R?
No, curvature.
R.
Got a load of pirates on the panel.
You have a pirate.
I got something.
No signs of Earth curve? Anybody at all?
Yes.
Go on. Excellent. Jose, what have you got?
My wife was driving yesterday, late afternoon. I was looking at the sunset, and I saw this plane going very high above me, and he was throwing one little line of chemtrail, whatever you want to call it. And I kept looking at it, and it kept going, and something was curving. It was either the plane landing because it kept going straight, and then it started going down. I was looking at it, and I tell my wife, look at that, look at the plane. She said, like, what, is it going down? I said, no, it's flying parallel to the Earth. So it's just going the same distance from us up than from that point it looks to go down. It's just flying parallel, but it appears to go down because it's following the curvature of the Earth. How about that?
Oh, that's so deceptive. Planes don't do that. When they fly into the distance, they actually apparently angle into the horizon. They fall into the horizon. So they don't move over a curve. They actually take a corner and go more straight.
We're about to go the way of Jazzicon and say chemtrails prove the globe.
Yeah, then my wife say like, no shit. I say, yeah. She was mind blown with that. I say, yeah, that's the curvature.
Shout out to Colin Turner for hitting the super chat. Thank you very much indeed for the support. There was quite a few super chats on the last show, but Brenda had totally triggered me and I lost all focus on everything. Tunnel vision. Swearing and effing and blinding at Brenda instead of concentrating on thanking people for super chatting. So thank you, Colin. If you smashed the super chat on the last show, thank you very much.
Jose, do you want me to tell you something about airplanes? Jose.
I'll answer for him. Yes, please tell him.
So Jose, an airplane, if it flies off, any kind of airplane, doesn't matter. If you fly off and you get to, let's say, 2 kilometers of altitude, and if you leave the plane perfectly straight, pointing at the horizon, and keep it that way, don't touch the airplane anymore, this plane will always eventually hit the ground in about 10 to 15 minutes. All airplanes need to slightly pitch their nose up so they don't fall.
Shout out to Brandon for the super chat. Thanks very much. He says, can't wait to hear you on Globebusters. So if you're watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980, after this show finishes, I'm not sure whether or not I'll do it before or after. I think I'll do it before. So after this show finishes, Globebusters will start and I'll be on it. So check out Globebusters after the end of this debate. Thanks for the super chat, Brandon. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, that was it. That was my point about the planes following the curvature of the Earth. Boom.
So how do you respond to them being nose up then, Jose?
Well, I don't know. I just observe them. I don't know how the plane mechanics work. I know they fly parallel and in an altitude.
So Jose, I tried to explain to you that they don't put the nose down to account for the curvature. They actually do the opposite. What does that tell you?
I don't know. You happy with what you're saying? Congratulations.
I am.
Okie dokie then. Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
No axis, so no rotation. Cannot find the damn axis. There is a huge stick going through the presupposed sphere. I've looked all over for this axis. I know that the spin of the axis is 0 because everything revolves around it. And I wanted to go there because I'm feeling dizzy now. I wanted to stop for a bit. No axis, no rotation.
I've been looking for the motor that runs it and drives it, but I can't find it there.
We'll get to the motor. Made out of molten iron.
Huh.
Anybody else? Axial rotation? No? Anybody?
Nah.
Fair enough. Any evidence that we can have a gas pressure without a container? For all those people believe in space? Outer space? The vacuum of space? The sky vacuum?
Nope, there definitely is a barrier, and I'm onto it to find out what is it and how it's working and why.
It's not a vacuum. It's a very low pressure system. You can call it a vacuum. You can call it a 10 to the minus 17 torr, but it's a very low pressure system.
It's a vacuum.
So it's the very low pressure system.
Come on, it's a vacuum.
Well, he's basically declaring there's no outer space. There's just the very low pressure system.
Yeah, it's like saying space doesn't suck. You're just being pedantic. Come on.
I wanna say a few sentences on this topic specifically, but can I do it after the housekeeping?
Sure. Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Scientific evidence of what?
Gravity.
I love it.
Gravity. Any scientific evidence thereof?
What?
Good luck with that.
About the distance to the sun. Any evidence of that?
Distance to the sun?
I wish Brenda were here so we could ask her. I'm sure she has some.
No thanks. One visit from Brenda's enough to last a week or so.
I know.
No, I'm just joking. She's warmly welcome back. If she wants to join, she's welcome.
Got to end the week with a little bit of a bang, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. What about evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the center of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Impossible.
Nope.
Last but not
I
least.
see it in all the books. I see it in the education books, so it must be real. Yeah, it's been taught to kids in school. I guess it's real.
Yeah, if somebody shows you a picture, then it's possibly real.
Go to the dog. He's real. He's orbiting the sun. I've seen it on TV. It's a cartoon. It's real.
Any actual evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the center of the presupposed spherical Earth? Or just
absolutely none.
Pictures in books?
Bunch of echoes, deep echoes, and then presuppositional spherical reasoning to model it all together into a ball. But even then, they're not even conclusive about their own presuppositions in this. So they're working it out like, okay, how is this supposed molten iron core actually supposed to be? What is actually down there? So they're kind of backtracking and trying to figure out like, okay, how are we going to more realistically presuppose this?
Talking of the presupposition, any evidence of the R value? Earth radius?
You're presupposing a sphere, are you?
Well, that's what they use to presuppose the sphere.
The radial geometrical property.
So let's ask one of the questions again. Any evidence that you can have a gas pressure without a container?
Well, see, this is where it gets interesting. It's actually impossible to have a gas pressure without a container or some sort of barrier that will retain the pressure. And in that regard, I want to point out, have you guys seen the Red Pill Philosophy video that he made a few days ago about the space agencies moving the goalpost? It's about their announcement that now the moon is in our sphere. So a few of the points that Red Pill is making in this video actually go in line with what I said a few days ago about space agencies actually trying to release flat Earth in a manageable for them manner. So me making this, noticing this and making a small observation based on the telemetry data that I was able to see on YouTube, I think that what are now they trying to do is because they know that there is something keeping the atmosphere in a certain pressure, and I think that they're very well familiar with what that thing is. And I think, as Red Pill is saying, at the end they'll say like, "Oh, we told you all along. It's a gradient, and it gets less and less and less, and blah blah blah." And there's vacuum, but then they'll say, "Oh, it's not actually vacuum. We found out what it is," and then they'll pop up what it really is because they know what it is. Basically, my point. They'll have their hands clean because they know what it is. They know it's not a vacuum. They know what it is, but they present it as vacuum.
Hey, Ali.
Right.
Happy?
We'll see. We'll see what they
Ali
come up
B,
with.
what's up?
I still have other options.
Yep, how you doing?
Hello.
Harold, you haven't heard what I said in the beginning, I think.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but however, their rhetoric's always going to be an open system, isn't it? I don't think they'll ever, get away from Voyager and, missions to Mars and all the other planets. So it's always going to be an open system, regardless of how far they push out the gradient.
Yeah.
It depends on what they will use as supposed barrier.
Supposed what?
Will suggest. Well, if they'd approach it like a membrane to a cell, then what can penetrate through that is conditional. So if they design something, I've already got something in my mind for over a year. So I wonder if they're going to do that.
Arwen, I don't think it's physical.
No, neither do I. But it could be, well, let's just say force-based.
Yeah, exactly.
Something that would just offset the entropy effect of gas pressure needing to expand just enough in order to keep it within the confine of that field. Yet with enough force, something more physical could penetrate with momentum, and that kind of even plays in with the whole angle of escape, all that weird escape velocity stuff and bouncing off the atmosphere. It could actually all fit in there.
Exactly, I have exactly the same thoughts as you do, but it's just because the thing that I've observed today, and it really makes total sense.
Well, Dan, remember
as
when
I said,
you
it's
asked
not
the
over
other
yet.
day, right? You asked if escape velocity is 25,000 miles per hour, and then the ISS is currently moving according to NASA at 17,500, right? So you asked how the hell would it slow down to that? Like, how do they slow down?
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess what they would just say is it's hitting, because I've heard that this is exactly what Red's rhetoric said the other day to that the space is fake flat earther he was debating. He said, well, it's just hitting, a hydrogen atom here, a hydrogen atom there. It's just hitting sporadic atoms, and that's why. That's why it's. I mean, come on.
But Chocolate, you have to put in the consideration that a hydrogen atom must weigh as much as an elephant.
No.
Right.
No, but that has to do with the speed of approach. A particle can have much more impact force if it goes extremely fast in relation to the target it is hitting, but still not. Yeah, it's not. Gonna make a lot of
Not
impact.
really,
But according to the new concept they brought forth with the expanded atmosphere, the ISS should simply be spinning in the atmosphere, a lower pressure part of the atmosphere, but definitely within the atmosphere.
Yeah, you're just
I
describing
gotta go. Thank you for having me.
energy of objects with different masses. So yeah, that's true, but it only works here in reality. Kinetic energy and different body masses is a thing. It is real.
Yep.
But it only affects the real world, not the imaginary priesthood space fake bullshit.
Oh, pushing out the atmosphere doesn't change anything. It's still an open system. Did they change the Tor values between us and the moon?
I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, that's what we
probably
want to look
working
at.
on
It really doesn't matter because it's still an open system. They're still screwed. So
Right.
it's 6 1/2 dozen of the other. Who cares?
Right.
Yeah, I think this is just the first major tweaking. I'm sure there will be others to follow.
Yep.
Can't see them just doing this one thing and then calling it a wrap because we're not going anywhere because of this shit. Kidding.
Yeah, but they didn't do anything. That's the point.
Yeah,
They
I guess
didn't
they
answer
really
anything.
did it in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, they really did it. But
No, you still have an open system. They didn't do anything.
you know, I was
What
thinking
did
the
they
other
do?
day, maybe they gave reasoning for now for the flag to be moving on the moon because a hydrogen atom hit it or some nonsense. So stupid.
Yeah, and now technically you can go to the moon with a balloon. The possibilities. Maybe we as flat earthers can be the first ones to actually visit the moon.
Guys, I hope in a few days I can present my observation in a pretty decent manner. So I just need some time to work on it.
Cool. I look forward to.
I'll have to go back and listen because I was a little bit busy when you were talking about it this morning. So, but it sounded interesting.
Yeah, we can get to it in the after show.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm thinking space zeppelins.
Thinking what?
Space zeppelins. That would make for really interesting science fiction.
Oh yeah.
Space. What was the second word?
Zeppelins.
Zeppelin.
Zeppelin.
Oh, Zeppelin. I was like, Zeppelin? Really? Space Zeppelins? Well, apparently China's got space potatoes, and, you know, they've already made space lettuce for the first time, for the 5th time. So, you know, I mean, sooner or later we should have a whole salad. Space salad.
Did he say Led Zeppelin?
I wonder if they can make cheese in space. How that would work.
Cheese?
Hey, did you say Led Zeppelin?
Nah.
Might as well be Led Zeppelin.
Oh, just a normal Zeppelin? Not over the hills and far away Zeppelin?
No.
Oh, all right. So, listen.
At least you heard Zeppelin. Hey. I heard Zeppelin.
I think with the current rate of them throwing out bullshit, they may have enough bullshit to fill a Zeppelin with enough bullshit to get to the moon.
They got the helium, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think there's our story for the atmosphere. Atmosphere has something to do with the noble gases in the atmosphere and ether. And probably a few more stuff, but I'm not really sure for now.
Yeah, but we know damn sure it's not an open system. Right?
Nope. There is a pretty tough barrier that keeps everything in.
Well, yeah. Well, it could be considered to be a membrane-like system, where it's basically a partial barrier, a selective barrier.
You know, Arwen,
say what?
Cornstarch.
Say what? Whoa. Say what?
I was going to pick you up on this earlier. So both of you said, well, it could be a non-physical barrier. Well, no. It has to provide the necessary antecedent for the gas pressure, i.e. something to press upon. So if you're saying it's a permeable surface, or whatever physical, non-physical thing you're just
A
describing.
force side effect phenomena.
Okay, but
Yeah.
maybe you can. But that's back to the same thing I'd say to a globe head. Can you demonstrate that for me?
Well,
Of course not.
I spoke about this on Early Bird Feathered show the first time when Arwin invited me. I spoke about that. There is a possibility that a model of flat Earth can be made, but I won't go into it now. But what I was just trying to say to Arwin when he said that the membrane thing is that cornstarch, when you mix it with water and you punch it hard, it resists, but then if you put your hand in slowly, it penetrates.
Yep. That's also interesting.
Be careful making those models, because models are reification fallacies. Don't waste your time.
No. That's just my thoughts.
Wait, models are the best science fiction ever.
Yeah, and there isn't a semi-permeable membrane in the Earth, Moon, solar system fiasco, right? And be careful. So,
You can always
I fear a
presuppose
lot of
one,
people making false equivalence fallacies, especially on Discord. They're getting confused between liquids and gases. Just because they're both arbitrarily classified as fluids, liquids are not gases, and they're not plasmas. There's different states of matter. Stay on point. Stay with the argument. Gas pressure, we're talking about gases, right?
Right.
Yep, you're right.
But if there could be somehow manifested a membrane-like effect, this is all super hyper presuppositional though, but yeah, maybe it could prevent gas from escaping, yet with enough force allow a solid object with enough momentum to pass through it.
Well, you can't have
It's
a
hyper
non-physical
science
barrier.
fiction.
You can't have a non-physical barrier. That's a married bachelor, right? Right off the cuff. So it has to be a physical. That's what barriers are. They're physical.
Really? So how about a shield? They conceptualized an energy shield. It's pretty physical.
That's not
Physical things will bounce off it.
That's only real in Star Wars.
Star Trek.
Right, Star Trek, Star Wars. Yeah, okay, but they imagined it, so
Yeah, let's imagine stuff.
Yeah, that's what it all is.
Yeah, that's what their story is. Their pseudoscience fairy tale story. Yeah, it's their imagination. Throwing a little mass, and there you go. That's what we got us into this mess.
Well,
Now, what got us into this mess is accepting their word as truth and authority, as literal. That's the mess, not the story. The story is a story, and I think it's brilliant. It's the biggest science fiction story ever conceived. But yeah, if you're going to accept it religiously as real, there lies the problem.
Okay, I just want to say something. When a computer game is created, it has an engine. This engine allows everything inside this virtual world to be built over it. So it supports all the mechanisms and stuff that work inside the game. So what I'm trying to refer to is our laws, the physical laws, the natural laws, they're all built on something. We have a hard time understanding exactly how some of the forces and laws work because we cannot comprehend what are they, their foundations are embedded in something that we cannot see and perceive. So there might be things that we'll never be able to explain.
Well, natural laws don't need explaining. That's what makes them laws. So they're just the what's and the is's. They just are.
Yeah,
so
that's why I make this analogy with the computer game, because when you play the game, you don't see the engine, you just see the effects of the engine.
That's right. Yeah, so a lot of people are making mistakes too between descriptions and explanations. There's a difference between the two. Explanations are the hows and whys. Descriptions are the what's and the is's. They're two extremely different genres, right? So be careful when you're talking about those.
I may do some mistakes on that one. I'm sorry if I'm making them.
No, you don't need to apologize for that. Everyone does it.
Now here, I'm going to throw a monkey wrench. It might trigger somebody on the panel. We'll see. But does a law imply a lawgiver? Question.
Yeah.
Discuss.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah, but you're trying to make an analogy with, judicial law. So it's sort of equivocation. I see where you're going, but be careful with that one. Do we want to go? I know I arrived here late. I woke up and I heard Brenda talking on the first show. Do we want to quickly go over that nightmare, or did we kill that in the after show?
No, I'm happy to go over it again because it's relevant. Because literally, the end of this show on Nathan Oakley 1980, people will then tune in afterwards to Globebusters with me saying the same thing to friendlies that I said to Brenda. So yeah, it's definitely worth going over.
I'll play Brenda.
So no, you don't have to play Brenda. We'll just go over it quick. We don't want to draw it out. So like I said, I woke up late and the first show was, I think, already over. So I just quickly, skipped through it. And then I hit Brenda. And the first train wreck was she didn't know the difference between ring laser and optical gyros, right? Somebody called her out on it. I don't know who did, but whoever did, it was absolutely perfect. The next thing she did that I heard was and she did this before a few days ago. She started out with a theory and then tried to do experiments for her predictions. And Nathan caught her because it's in the wrong order. The theory results from the scientific method. It's the end point, right? Hypotheses always come before theories. Every scientific theory has to be experimentally validated. You don't come up with a theory and then experiment. Not that, it doesn't go that direction. That's inane, right? So she was caught out on that. And then the coup de grace. Now, I didn't listen to the whole thing. I just stopped at the modus tollens, right? So she gave you an argument, and she said, if the Earth is stationary, the ring laser gyro will record no movement. The ring laser recorded movement, therefore the Earth is not stationary. Now, she prefaced this by saying this was modus tollens. That's not modus tollens. Modus tollens is if P, then Q. Not Q, therefore not P. Her little train wreck of a debacle is if P, then not Q. Q, therefore not P. So the argument is invalid right from get-go. It's totally invalid. I mean, it's not modus tollens.
Hey,
Are you
Tim.
done?
Good to have you.
Yes.
Great. Well, have you ever done any scientific experiments for flat Earth ever?
Oh, God.
Is that a valid question? You ask people that every day. So I'm just asking you, have you ever done that?
Sure. Can I answer?
Yeah, go ahead, Nathan.
Well, I asked him.
Okay, go ahead, John. My bad.
Go ahead. Have you?
All right.
No?
Number one, is we as flat earthers haven't been saying for 3 years that we have scientific evidence. And if you believe in the flat earth, you must deny all of physics, right? That's what we've been hearing for 3 years. So we hold baltards feet to the fire and have them provide scientific evidence. But,
okay, well, now I'm doing it to you, Quantum Racer. So now you can go ahead and provide scientific evidence for the flat Earth.
I never made the claim I had scientific evidence for a flat Earth. And if you pass fifth grade general science, you'd already know that that's a nonsensical question, son. Because, shut your pie hole for a second, because this isn't a scientific question. Scientific questions only deal with cause
Shut up, Timmy.
and effect.
Just wait.
Cause and effect is whether the Earth is flat or whether the Earth is a sphere. Is that a what is question or a cause and effect question?
Why are you so hard-nosed with your sciences here? You know that there are other sciences.
You're not
that
answering
don't
my
use the
question.
scientific method.
You're not answering my
Right?
question. Timmy,
No, I'm not
you're not
going to fall
answering
into
my
your little
question.
criteria where all of science has to use the scientific method. You're just wrong about
That's
that.
right.
Everybody tells you that, but you continue with your fundy bullshit.
Everyone tells me that because they don't know what they're talking about.
And you do know science, but you sit there and talk about it. And we've already
That's
gone
right.
through that.
I
So
just told you this isn't a cause and effect genre. You knuckleheads think it is. So we hold
Why
your
are
feet
you
to the fire
asking
and
for
you
it
can't
then?
do it.
Why are you asking for it?
Because you're
Why are you
claiming
asking
fail
right.
fifth grade general
questions?
science,
Is
son.
that fun for you or what?
You'd fail fifth grade
Is that
general
fun?
science, son. That's the problem.
Is that fun to ask people rhetorical questions to try to get
Yes,
off on them or
it's not
something?
fun.
Is that what
You
you do,
made
like
the
Darth
claim.
Dawkins?
So are you not claiming science for a globe?
Hold on, Owen.
Space
Hold on.
monkeys made the claim. Now we're
Are you the
holding your
Darth
feet to the
Dawkins of
fire.
flat Earth? Is
Get
that
the
what you're trying to be
scientific
here? 'Cause
evidence.
that's exactly what I would call you. You're the Darth Dawkins of flat Earth. Congratulations.
Did you hear his answer? Hold on, just before you. Hold on, John. Hold on, Tim. Hold on. Did you hear his answer? You said, "Why haven't you got scientific evidence?" And he answered you. Did you hear his answer?
He doesn't accept our scientific evidence.
That's not what I asked.
You guys don't accept the Cavendish. You guys don't accept.
Sorry,
laser
now you're answering a
interferometry.
new
You guys don't
question,
accept
starting a new
satellites.
topic.
You
Tim,
guys don't accept anything.
Tim, you're not going to run the show. So, did you
All right, see ya.
did you hear the answer? Did you get the answer that you wanted? Oh, he's off. Bye.
Bitch, Tim. Such a little bitch.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me just summarise. So Tim said, why didn't we provide scientific evidence, or why don't we provide scientific evidence for flat Earth? The answer from John was quite concise. It's because we're not claiming we have scientific evidence of anything. Hello again, Brenda. Good to have you. Hey, Brenda.
Good morning.
Must be Troll Friday.
How
are you doing?
Are you coming back? I mean,
Are you still sore after being
this is like the
thoroughly
chairman of
trounced?
PETA.
Brenda, I
videotaped
want
the
to
night
share my
before,
screen.
clubbing baby seals with a nail spike 44 Louisville Slugger, and then coming back to work the next day thinking that everything's just fine.
Wait. Chill. I want to share my screen, and Brenda can read this out loud for all of us.
What? I can't hear you. When everybody talks over everybody, I can't hear
Share
you.
my screen, Brenda, so you can read the highlighted part for all of us. Am I presenting?
No.
You are. Yeah, the audience can see you.
Oh, there you are.
Just click locally, Brenda. Thanks.
So, optical gyroscopes. Can you read the highlighted part for us?
Yeah.
All right.
Unlike mechanical or gas-bearing gyroscopes, optical gyroscopes do not rely on a rotating wheel or bearing. Optical gyroscopes are not based on the conservation of angular momentum. These gyroscopes used.
Isn't that enough? That's why I wanted to
Yeah, I
explain
never said anything.
earlier.
I never said any.
Optical gyroscope is nothing to do with a ring gyroscope or a mechanical gyroscope.
No, this is talking about the difference between optical gyroscopes and mechanical ones, right?
There is 3 types. So
Right.
I'll say it slowly as Nathan does. There is a mechanical gyroscope. There is another mechanical gyroscope that uses laser. They call it the ring laser gyroscope. And then there is an optical gyroscope that doesn't use any rotating parts. It uses only incoming light.
The optical, the ring laser gyroscope doesn't use bearings.
But it rotates.
No, it's based on the same principle as optical gyroscopes.
So if you hear the show earlier on, you explained to us how it's rotating.
Yeah, they both use the same principle.
Nope, they don't.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
One doesn't rotate,
The fiber,
the other one rotates. How is that
that's
the
not
same?
the point.
No, this is the point.
Mechanical gyroscopes have gimbals. Mechanical gyroscopes have gimbals.
We're
right?
not talking about mechanical gyroscopes. We're talking about
Right.
optical gyroscopes.
The laser
ring
gyroscopes. The laser ring gyroscope and the fiber optical gyroscope operate on the same principle.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. The Sagnac principle.
Sagnac rotates.
Yes. Yeah, that's
But-
right
but
on the
there's one
Wikipedia
missing-
page for
there's
the
one
optical
missing aspect,
gyroscopes.
though.
It's
They're
right on the
not
Wikipedia
physical
page
based.
for. Yes, they are. Light
No,
is
they're not.
physical. Yes, they are. Light
No,
is
they're not.
physical.
No, what?
Light is physical.
Wow.
Of course it is.
Right, of course it is. Yet we can't even determine if it's a particle or a wave. So, but
we
it's
know
physical.
exactly what light
Sure.
is. We know what it is.
I would
Oh, so
stop
you're
right
not
there,
sure what
Owen.
No,
brilliant.
I'm not
Brilliant
confused about light at all. You are.
Right,
point
yeah,
is-
Brenda. Light is physical. You're a genius.
Yes, of course it is.
But let's get back to the gyros. Let's get back to the
light-
differences
light is
between
not
Physical,
gyros.
doesn't have any weight.
That's right. It has
Oh
no
yeah, but
mass.
it's physical. Like it
has
just
no
misses
mass.
all the aspects of
Okay,
physicality,
get
but it's
back to
physical.
the
It has no
gyros.
mass and it has no charge, but it does have angular. It does have momentum, right? The photons have momentum. They travel at the speed of light. They're part of our physical universe. What they are not is they are not mechanical, like mechanical gyroscopes.
Where are you getting this momentum? You actually have to have weight to get momentum. It's ridiculous.
No, not for photons. Photons have
Oh,
momentum.
so yeah, yet again, the exception on every single front concerning matter,
That's
but
just
it's still
physics.
matter.
It's
You're brilliant.
It's high school physics, in fact.
Yeah, it's high school physics, and you get an F.
It's bullshit physics.
No, it's not. The reason that they can have just momentum is because their rest mass is zero. Photons always travel at the speed of light, right? And so they can have momentum because their rest mass is zero, and it balances out in the equations just fine.
But there's actual different speeds officially, accordingly. So what is
No,
it?
there isn't.
It
travels differently in different mediums, but the speed of light is always the same everywhere in the universe.
except when the exception is applied. So it doesn't.
No, that's
You
just
just
wrong.
mentioned the exception in your declaration that it's always the same. You're ridiculous.
No, it's always the same in the same medium. It travels more slowly in like glass or water, but it's the fastest speed that can be done in any universe, in our universe.
That's not the same thing as saying it always travels the same speed. You're being absolutely retarded.
The same speed. The speed is c. It always travels at c, which is the speed of light.
Okay, then.
Shout out to Cynical Skeptic for the super chat. Thank you very much indeed.
Light can never go any slower than c. Light is a physical part of our universe, but it's not mechanical. So we got into this about difference between fiber optic gyroscopes,
non-mechanical
and laser ring.
physicality. This is new.
Wow.
Are you
it's
are
part of
you
the
like
universe.
on the staff of the screenwriters for the newest Star Trek series on hyper
This is
speculation?
just basic physics.
No, the basic physics, and you fail. You suck, Ren.
By the way, my syllogism was not fallacious. It's modus tollens.
No, it's not. We already exposed that.
If the Earth is
not.
stationary,
It's not.
right?
It's not. We already went over that twice. It wasn't.
No,
It's
you
a
were
train.
wrong. You were
It's a
wrong.
modus fuckwit.
Well, let me defend it. Can I defend it? Can I defend my statement?
You claim light is physical matter, yet it lacks all of its properties, all of the aspects that make matter what it is, just to prove that the Earth is a ball and rotating. You're so pathetic.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's a rabbit hole.
You're pathetic. You're twisting everything around just to get your little ball. It's sad.
We should go back to ring lasers and stuff. And the point is, my syllogism was that if the Earth is stationary, the ring laser will not record any movement. It did record movement, which is not Q. The Q is the ring laser.
John, you want to step in?
The ring laser will
not record we already went over this. That's not modus
Q.
tollens.
You're wrong.
Modus tollens is if P then Q, not Q, therefore not P.
Correct.
What you offered is if P then not Q, Q, therefore not P. So the argument is invalid. Good night.
Yeah, we took this to pieces, Brenda. We absolutely ripped it a new one. You just asserted yet another logical fallacy and then claimed it wasn't and gave it a title. Well, that's a shame.
Q is the ring laser will not record anything.
Your
Q.
format's wrong.
No, it is correct. That's my format. I get to say how it goes.
Well, we already went over this here in this show
You're
just a few
wrong.
minutes
It's my
ago, and in the
syllogism.
after
I get to
show,
say what Q is.
we jacked your nonsense yard. So
I get to say what Q is, and I say that Q is the ring laser will not record anything.
Oh, you get
right? It did record something, which is not
reality when you claimed light is physical matter. It's absurd.
It did record movement, which is not Q. Therefore, not P. The Earth is not stationary.
That's not modus tollens. That's modus.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, it's not. I already just said it. Modus tollens is if P, then Q. Not Q, therefore not P. What you offered is if P, then not Q. Q, therefore not P. So you're an invalid train wreck. Go fish.
Now to Eric. Is he on the panel still? Shout out to Eric for the super chat. Thank you very much indeed. Really appreciate your support.
And Brenda, you didn't even know what the types of gyroscopes they are, and you tried to convince us. What the hell?
Q is the laser will not record anything. That's Q. Not Q is the opposite of that, which is it did record something.
And
no,
so that would be not Q. That's moron.
Say what Q is.
No, it's not Q.
She's not getting it. She just keeps asserting if not Q and then changing it. So she doesn't understand what you're saying, John. Maybe you can explain again how not Q isn't the same as not Q.
Now, listen, like I said, I don't need to go there. All I have to do is show that it's not a modus tollens argument. And I already did that like 6 times. Modus tollens is if P, then Q. This is the last time. Modus tollens is if P, then Q. Not Q, therefore not P. What she offered was if P, then not Q. Q, therefore not P. So it's over. I don't have to say anything else.
I get to assign Q a value, and the value I assign to it is that the laser will not record anything. That's my value I assign to Q.
So now that you botched the logic part of it, let's try the scientific evidence part of it. Let's try the scientific evidence since you botched the logic part of it. So what's your observed phenomenon?
What's our observed phenomenon? We take an instrument reading. It's an instrument reading, right?
And here we go.
Oh, here we go again, right? So that's not a natural reading.
In gyroscopes.
Sorry, maybe if I break it down for you, Brenda. The 2 words used are natural and phenomena.
It's an instrument reading.
Yes, that would be not natural.
If an instrument says it's true, then it must be true.
Is it your claim that instruments are not observations?
No, not natural. Said very slowly for you, dumbass. You're a bit loud, John. Maybe you're causing a bit of feedback. If you can turn your speakers down a little bit, John.
Sorry about that, man. I got computer issues, so that's going to be fixed in a couple of days. All right, I'll go on mute.
That's all right. So yeah, it's not that we're saying you can't observe things, Brenda. We're saying that they're not natural phenomena.
Who cares?
Well, that's because science is exclusively interested in natural phenomena, the cause thereof. So when you say who cares, well, unfortunately, the scientific method cares because it's exclusively interested in natural phenomena.
Science uses instruments to record.
Yes, science uses instruments to record the effects of natural phenomena. You're not using an instrument. You're claiming the phenomena is the instrument.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. We asked you what your natural phenomena was, and you said an instrument. So you are claiming that the instrument is the phenomena.
No. The phenomenon is the rotation of the Earth. The instrument.
Oh, really? So that's what we're observing. Is it the rotation of the Earth, or are we observing a bloody gyroscope? We're definitely not observing Earth turn. You're going to formulate a fallacy and assert that when watching a man-made device, we're actually observing Earth turn.
We use an instrument to record observational data, just like you use a thermometer to record observational data. The fact that a thermometer is man-made and not, according to you, natural, that doesn't mean anything.
You need to listen to
here.
last show because
Can I
we
jump in?
clobbered that nonsense for about the 12th time.
readings.
We covered this before the show started.
Yeah, I know.
I asked this question. So it's if a thermometer, the natural phenomenon would be I feel hot heat, like I'm cooking right now and it's hot in the kitchen. That's the phenomenon.
Yeah, temperature.
Okay, right. But the phenomenon is not the mercury in the thermometer going up. That's
correct.
So you can't. Correct. That's what we're saying. The rotation on
that's the natural phenomenon.
No, right? that's what supposedly the measurement of the phenomenon. No, that's supposedly the measurement. No, that's the measurement of the phenomenon. That's not the phenomenon.
No, rotation isn't a measurement. Rotation is a natural occurring phenomenon.
She's an asshole. Basically, what she's doing is now flip-flopping between what is the phenomena and what is actually being measured. So don't be an asshole, Brenda.
When the laser is on an airplane and the airplane turns, the phenomenon is the rotation of the airplane.
There is no lasers on an airplane.
Yes, they are.
This earlier, Brenda, circle jerker.
They use optical. They use ring laser optical gyroscopes in the 747 and the 777.
Hey, Brenda, may I ask you something? We absolutely certain that laser gyroscopes and optical gyroscopes measuring rotation and cannot be affected by other phenomena?
They can't be affected by magnetic fields. We know that because light isn't affected by magnetic fields.
Okay, could you see my screen?
I just see a screenshot from it. Looks like some movie.
Oh, if you click on my icon, you will see I'm sharing a Wikipedia page talking about magneto-optic effect.
What of it?
Oh, it simply states that light propagation is affected by presence of magnetic field. So how do you know then magnetic field does not affect light in its propagation?
This is talking about the presence of quasi-static magnetic fields and its right rotating elliptical polarization of electromagnetism. The plane of polarization can be rotated, forming a Faraday rotator. I don't think this has anything to do with what we're talking about.
No, it has. It has. It has to do with having.
It has to do with a circular. It has to do with polarization of light.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which direction it travels. It states that it affects the propagation of light, of electromagnetic.
This has to do with polarization. This is irrelevant to the current discussion.
Look at this.
Lasers
don't have a. Do you see that? Can propagate at different speeds.
What are you talking about?
We're talking about a light electromagnetic wave propagating at different speeds when affected by magnetic fields.
Oh, well, sure, fine. But that doesn't affect the value of C. They're still traveling at the speed of light.
Well, no.
The actual question of speed of light is in question now. They're saying it could be variable. I had an article posted on my screen a second ago, and I'll share it in the chat. Actually, I did share it in the chat. It's in there.
It says the left and right rotating elliptical polarizations propagate at different speeds. It doesn't talk about the speed of light, you bong. It talks about the elliptical polarization of the light propagation.
What is propagation? What is propagation? Using that speed?
Spreading. It means spreading.
No,
going.
No. Propagation is definition of speed.
Yes, but it's not talking about the speed of the light itself. It's talking about the polarization of the light, not the light itself. You don't know what you're talking about.
No, read this.
Yes, I am reading it. It says the right rotating elliptical polarization propagates at different speeds. It's not talking about the light. It's talking about its polarization.
Read the next line. It says, when light is transmitted. Do you want to read it, Brenda?
It says when light is transmitted through.
Oh, so it is talking about light then. So let's get it clear. It absolutely is talking about light then, Brenda.
The sentence before is talking about polarization, not the light. It's of the light. The sentence before is talking about the rotating elliptical polarization of the light.
Yeah, of light. Yeah, that's right, of light. So we're all in agreement then. We are definitely talking about light then.
No, it's not. It's talking about the polarization of the light.
Yeah, light. That's precisely what you said it wasn't talking about. It's not talking about light. So it is talking about light. When light, it's really clear in its description. It's highlighted in blue and makes it really clear. Shout out to CFC Bear for the super chat. Really appreciate your support.
Yeah, it's called the left and right rotating elliptical polarizations propagate at different speeds. It's not talking about the speed of the light itself moving. It's talking about the polarization of the light.
It's talking about propagation at different speeds of the light.
It's talking about what is propagating in that sentence.
Just look up the definition and somebody look it up,
It
and then
says
we'll be clear.
what is propagating, right, is the rotating elliptical polarization is propagating.
About electromagnetic wave, right? Right here.
Which is light.
What propagates through, yes.
No, it's
through medium that has been altered by the presence
the left
of...
and right. The left and right rotating elliptical polarization can propagate at different speeds. It's not talking about the speed of light. It's not talking about the light itself going at different speeds. There has never been observed.
You just conceded that it's. Are you now saying that electromagnetic wave, which a phenomenon of light is part of, is not affected by magnetic field? Is that what you're saying?
Light is electromagnetic radiation. That's what it is. It's composed of photons.
Right. So you're saying, I'm not agreeing with you there, but whatever you think the light is, you stating right here, right now, categorically, that is not affected by magnetic field.
If you Google, can light be affected?
I did so.
By magnetic field, and you will get the result is no. There is a special cases, like in the cases of magnetars, which are incredibly dense, have an incredibly strong magnetic field that it's due to relativistic effects on the light, can bend the light in those cases.
Brother, please stop. Please stop with this nonsense. Right? It's not an electromagnetic wave, for one thing. Light photons are neither electric, magnetic, or waves. So we're off the reservation already. This is all nonsense. You have no idea what you're talking about. Right? What the hell is a magneto? What did you call it?
Magnetar. A magnetar.
A magnetar. Where do we find magnetars at?
It's a stellar object in astronomy. It's a neutron star that is rotating at a high speed, creating an intense magnetic field.
What a load of bollocks. So you've looked at something in the sky and decided what it is and what it does. What an absolute load of bollocks. What a total outrage.
That's fine. I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care? You're looking at things in the sky and telling us what they are, and you don't care. Your declaration of some bloody light in the sky and what it does and what it functions as and what it's performing and how much magnetic properties it's got. What an absolute outrage.
So to recap, light is a...
To recap, you're a clown. I mean, this is worse than 13th century alchemy. I mean, this is pretender clown all over it.
Yeah, this is why you have people needing to hijack science. Because when they make assertions like that light in the sky is a magnetron, they need to be able to back it up with something that makes it sound like that nonsense actually makes sense. No, you must trust my nonsense. Well, why must I trust it? Science!
It's a magnetar, not a magnetron.
Who gives a crap? It's a light in the sky that you've decided to give a label to. And what it does, and its effects, and how it changes the bloody world. It's just a light in the sky. Pseudoscientists have labelled it, right? They've decided what it is.
So light is a physical phenomenon. We know what it is. It's propagated by an electromagnetic wave, and when the wave function collapses...
How many times am I going to tell you this? How many times do I have to say it? Photons are neither electric nor magnetic, and they're definitely not friggin' waves.
Yes, it is wave. Of course it is.
Yes, it is, right? The aha argument,
It's like
right?
it's like
you need to go back and watch my
considered
quantum
a
mechanics
wave.
presentation.
It's a wave
right?
packet. It's a wave.
It's
packet.
a wave packet, right? Is the wave
yes.
physical?
Huh?
Is the wave, when they're talking about the wave function in quantum mechanics, is that physical?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, right. No, it's
Electromagnetic
not
fields
physical.
are physical.
It's not a physical wave.
Yes,
it's a mathematical construct.
Wrong, Brenda.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah.
It's mathematical. So they're describing something happening mathematically that does not make light a physical wave. That's a misconception.
What?
Not a physical wave. It's described mathematically as a wave.
Right.
That does not make it a wave.
Right. Mathematical descriptions are descriptions of things. There's the difference between the map and the territory. Math is the map. The physical universe is the territory.
Okay, well, let's ask the same question again. So is light a physical wave?
Yes.
Oh my god. So the map is not the territory, right? We're not going to reify descriptions of things in models or mathematical concepts of things like waves. When I ask if it's a physical thing, you literally reify the territory. So the map is the terrain, right?
They're physical.
Light is a wave. The map is the territory. No, Brenda, it's a mathematical description.
Yeah, I know.
So I'll ask a third time. Let's see if we can get this fuckwittery round and round in circles. Let's see how quick you can get this stupidity to go round in circles. So, Brenda, I'll ask a third time. Is light physically a wave?
Yes.
No, Brenda. That's a mathematical description. The map is not the terrain. The fact that you can describe something in mathematics as being a wave does not mean you must reify it into being a wave. It isn't.
Are ocean waves waves?
Yeah, we're not talking about oceans. We're talking about light, you stupid buffoon. Yeah? We're not making false equivalency here. Yeah? You can have waves in the ocean. Yeah? You can describe light mathematically, conceptually, as a wave. That doesn't physically make it so.
If I drop a stone in water, the waves produced are physical.
Yeah, there's not waves. Waves is what the thing does.
The description of the waves is math.
Right. Wave is not a thing. Wave is what
the
thing does. No, wave is what the thing does. When you see
a wave is
on
the
the water, that's the wave of the water. That's what water does.
If I drop a rock and if I drop a rock,
wave is not a thing. Do you understand?
Yes, it is. If I drop a rock in a pool, the wave is real.
Is what
it's
a thing does. Wave
it's real.
Is what a thing. Yes, listen to what I'm saying.
It's still real. It's physical.
Wave is what a thing does. You have to have a thing to do the motion that appears like a wave.
Right.
Wave is not a thing.
It's still real. It's still real and it's still physical.
Let's end this. Let me
give you an analogy.
Professor Shankar, hold on a second. Let's end this. So we have to play this game in two ways. It is particles, but its future is determined by a wave. But the wave is purely mathematical. You cannot put an instrument to measure the energy due to that wave. It's a construct we use to determine what will happen in this experiment. Case closed. Good night.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example.
No, don't give me an example. Please answer the question. Wave of what? When you say light is wave of what?
The electromagnetic field.
Sorry,
wait a minute. So
it's the field. It's the field that's waving.
Can electromagnetic field affect electromagnetic field?
Oh yeah, that's my question. So electromagnetic field cannot affect an electromagnetic field. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
Oh my God.
Electromagnetic field cannot affect light, is what you said.
Oh my
God. I didn't. Light is an electromagnetic field.
Right, but you said it can't be affected by it. You're double speaking here. You're double speaking.
I'm not.
You said light is electromagnetic field.
Yes.
So A is B, right? But B cannot affect B. That's what you said.
Oh, what are you talking? What? I don't know what you mean then. Then explain further. Explain further then.
Okay. A is light. A equals B. B is electromagnetic field. Right? You said,
light is an electromagnetic. Light is an electromagnetic phenomenon.
But electromagnetic field cannot affect another electromagnetic phenomenon. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying that.
Yes, you did. You just said that. You said light.
Magnetism doesn't affect light because of Maxwell's equations, right? If you understand Maxwell's equations, then you would understand why. Because they're orthogonal to each other.
I'm going to share a video with you that I'm going to put back on my screen again.
You're not going to show magnets affecting light.
Yes, I am. Watch. Just watch.
Paul, just a quick question to Brenda. Brenda, can you see a wave without a medium?
I don't. No, you can't.
Watch my screen. This is light, electric light, and there's a magnet. So it looks like it's affecting it.
Yeah, I don't know what the experiment is.
Okay.
Not an experiment. It's visually obvious. It's a demonstration.
I don't know what. I don't know.
Yeah, I was in the middle of talking, Brenda. I was in the middle of talking. Yeah, number one, not an experiment. Number two, it's a visually obvious demonstration of light being affected by magnetism.
Oh, I don't know the details of that experiment.
Okay.
I'll say it again. You are clearly deaf. Not an experiment. A demonstration.
That's an experiment.
What's an experiment?
The bending green light with two magnets.
No. What is what is an experiment?
Fine experiment.
Silence.
I'm trying to find that. And,
so let me get it straight. You've just claimed it's an experiment. I've said not an experiment. Two separate occasions. Now, like a complete fuckwit, you've got to go and look up what an experiment actually is. Let me get that clear.
I'm just trying to find the one that the other guy showed. I just want to see what it says in the.
Yeah, shut up. I'll tell you. It's a hypothesis test. That's what an experiment is.
Yeah, well, I don't know the details.
Yeah, I know you don't know the details. I'm schooling you while you talk all over me. Repeat what I just told. Tell me back. Let's see how dumb you really are. Let's see how much you don't listen. I've just said the two words that define what an experiment is. Let's see if you can repeat them back to me.
That experiment is not bending the light. It's bending.
Yeah, dickhead. I'll say it again. I've just told the self-declared ignorant person what an experiment is. Now I'm going to see if you are so stupid that you couldn't even listen to the answer. Can you repeat back to me, having just been told while you talk all over me? Have just told you. So let's see if you can repeat it back. Let's just see how dumb you really are. Is that a no? I am incapable of repeating back the two words that defined what an experiment is?
No, she said she has someone at her door.
Oh, what a shock. Someone at the door. Oh, right.
Yeah. It's the 5th grade general science teacher coming back to take away the certificate.
That's classic. So she said that the magnet is bending the medium. That was, I mean, come on.
I might take that opportunity to round out this live show. So first and foremost, huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you in the live audience for tuning in, super chatting, and hopefully sharing this live debate. If you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. So stick around. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!